talking specifically about major accomplishments over the last year. Kevin, you've been recently installed over at Department of Justice. However, you've got a lot of lineage there and have been there in the past for quite some time. I know that you, through the role that you had over at DHS, stayed very stitched together. Tell us about the accomplishments that are happening over at Department of Justice.
Very good. Thank you, Luke. Thank you to you and the other panelists, and to WTOP and Treza Media. Appreciate this opportunity. So coming in to Department of Justice as the Deputy Chief Information Officer, I'm working with Melinda Rogers, our Chief Information Officer, as well as all of our components within DOJ, the different agencies, and our industry partners as well. Want to focus on two things up front here in terms of what we've accomplished as we really take a look across the network landscape out to the cloud. We continue to see the increase in the threat from our nation state and criminal actors trying to get access to our data, trying to cause harm to our mission areas. So one of the areas that we've really been focused on post SolarWinds is continuing to mature our cyber capabilities. Three things there that we're working towards. We've got the strategy in place for implementing zero trust networks. The idea there being that no longer do we trust everything on the network or much of the network. Now different applications, different systems will be only open to those authorized, and those individuals and system connections will need to show that they are indeed authorized to access the data. So the second part of that is, in order to do that identification and authentication of the users and then checking their authorization, is making sure that we have a good cloud ready identity provider to help and integrate in with that overall zero trust architecture. And then another key area that we're working with DHS CISO on is the implementation of endpoint detection and response. The idea here that we help better understand the users coming in on the system, the activity happening on all of our systems, and also giving our Security Operations Center more capabilities in terms of incident response. Being able to capture more data feeds, looking for anomalies from our various adversaries. The other key thing, and I think this is applicable to our other speakers here today, is as we see progress being made towards COVID-19 vaccination, we're working to prepare our workforce for a broader return to the office. We'll probably be looking at some type of hybrid approach where we still take advantage of remote work and telework, looking at the accomplishments that we were able to make over the past two and a half years in terms of really being able to continue productivity and in some cases increase productivity. So we want to continue to support that. But we also want to be able to get folks back in the office safely, make sure that our workforce is safe, so that we can do more collaboration in the office and be able to support folks in the office, support folks working remotely, so that we can continue to move forward, continue to keep high productivity, and at the end of the day, the most important thing, make sure that we're supporting all of our mission areas. So that's been a big effort to get the COVID attestation system in place, working to make sure that we can track who is vaccinated, who has the appropriate approvals, and to continue to work remotely. If they're not vaccinated, get the testing regimes in place as appropriate. So that's been a real focus for us, a real accomplishment to get that in place, getting up close to, or actually over 98% in terms of being able to get feedback from each and every person within Department of Justice in regards to where they stand on COVID attestation. And so we'll continue with that and continue to ensure that our workforce is safe as we change our posture a bit over the next few months and come back in to continue to support the mission, both from a remote standpoint, but also more in the office. some other things that we can touch upon later, a focus on artificial intelligence, as well as our broader data management strategy. Thank you, Luke.